It's Wednesday, July 26, 2023. Well, no shock today. We got the 25 basis point rate hike. Most of you anticipated that, predicted that, forecasted that. I said a couple weeks ago, 99.9%, they're going 25 without a doubt, weeks ago. So it didn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that we were getting another rate hike today. But there were some very interesting things said at the meeting today when Jerome Powell spoke, and I want to share that with all of you. Before I do, please make sure to like this video, share this video, and if you want to support the channel, make sure you subscribe and make sure you share these videos. But let's get in and let's dive a little deeper here with what happened today. I jotted down some of the things that Jerome Powell said after the rate hike today. He says, we're going to need to hold policy at restrictive levels for some time. Now, I think a lot of this was a bit hawkish and a bit dovish, and a lot of it was just a full-out lie, in my opinion. And I think we're in very, very big trouble because Jerome Powell has yet to really be honest with the American people about the severity of this economy and where we're heading. I think Jerome Powell is either directly lying to us or he is in denial. These people are too smart to not know what's happening. He says, I don't see a rate cut this year. How many people on the television have been telling us all year that we're going to get a rate cut? Came out today, said it's not going to happen this year. He says, we could see a rate cut next year. September rate hike possible, but he also says a pause is possible in September. Getting back to 2%, we have a long way to go, he said. We have 8 weeks to the September meeting. We will be looking at all data. Growth in consumer spending has slowed from earlier in the year. Inflation has proven to be more resilient than expected. Overall prices are tightening and leading to problems with lending conditions. He said his staff no longer is forecasting a recession. This is where it really gets confusing. His staff no longer forecasting a recession in the United States. I think most of you would agree we're in a recession right now. And his staff says they see no recession in their forecast. He says we won't see 2% inflation until 2025. So this is confusing also. So we're not going to see 2%, but they're talking about a possible rate cut next year. So they could cut rates in 2024, and yet they're saying that we won't even see inflation down to 2% until 2025. But if you cut rates in 2024 and we're not at 2%, isn't that problematic? Isn't there a possibility that's going to cause inflation? How can you begin to cut when we haven't even gotten to 2%? I don't understand that. We're seeing strong spending and a strong economy, he went on to say. Again, this is confusing me. Strong spending, Jerome Powell, Mr. Jerome Powell. This is attributed to credit cards. People are going into massive debt to spend, to pay the bills, to buy essentials, to go to Costco, to go to Walmart, to pay the utility bills. They're going in deeper and deeper to debt. We have, according to the debt clock, $1.3 trillion of credit card debt right now. So I don't know why he doesn't understand that strong spending is coming from strong credit card use, strong economy. It's an economy propped up by debt. He says things have settled down in the banking sector. We just had another bank collapse a couple days ago, PacWest, and yet things are settling down. I find it very, very hard to believe these people, ladies and gentlemen. I really, really do. $1.8 trillion of interest on the U.S. federal debt now of $32.6 trillion. Jerome Powell mentioned nothing of that. Peter Schiff was on CNBC today. Excuse me, it was Fox Business actually, Fox Business. He says, he gave some advice. He says, you got to get out of the US dollar. He said he's buying dividend paying stocks and physical gold. He says you could buy treasury bills, but he says real inflation is well over 5%, so you're losing money. So that's a good point, but let me know what you think. Did you watch the Fed minutes today? Did you watch Jerome Powell answering questions, reading off of all of his notes? Literally just being so strategic with everything he's saying, so afraid to just say one wrong thing, to use one wrong word, because there's just so much hope with these algorithms in these markets that they're looking for anything. In fact, the Dow was actually up today after all of this. What did you think? Do you believe what he's saying? Is he delusional? Is he just straight up lying to all of us? Can he save us? Can he avoid? To me, it's not even a matter of avoiding a recession. We're in a recession right now. Anybody that can add 2 + 2 knows that we're in a recession. Anybody going to work every day, working 1 job, 2 jobs, 3 jobs, paying the bills, writing out the mortgage, the rent, paying for the groceries, paying the car payment, the insurance, health, auto, to the cell phone bill, to the maintenance of an automobile, which is up 20%, knows that this economy is in big trouble and inflation is much higher than they are admitting. The hedge today. So let me know, what did you think if you watched it, or if you were watching some of the highlights? Let me know what you thought about this. The hedge today. So it begins. U.S. supermarkets hit with buying panic as India bans rice exports. July 20th, the Indian government banned the export of basmati rice to ensure domestic availability at reasonable prices. Indians in the U.S. have gone into a panic. They are stockpiling this rice, and it's happening across the country. So it's not all rice. I don't think we're going to see a rice shortage, but certain rice, this specific rice, we're possibly going to see a shortage. But it goes on to another article here from PBS, and many of you, we've been reading about this for the past week. Russia threatens to pull out of Ukraine grain deal, raising fears about global food security. They're talking about not allowing 32.8 million tons of grain from Ukraine heading across the globe and going into these developing countries that need this, that they don't get it, they could starve. So more than half of this 32.8 million tons goes to developing nations. And if they don't get this, people starve. Lots of people, millions of people in jeopardy here. But again, this is war now. This is what we get with sanctions. And Russia is fighting back. But so we have now a possible rice shortage, grain shortage. Here's another one. Orange juice squeezes to new record high amid intensifying fears of global shortage. Proliferation of disease in Florida is a big part of this shortage. Florida supplies is so low that we're now taking orange juice from Brazil. We're importing orange juice from Brazil. If you look, there was a picture in this article that if you look at your orange juice container, it may say that this orange juice is coming from the US and Brazil. So that was very interesting. So rice, grains, orange juice, and of course we're having major droughts all over the US now. And what does that mean for food prices here in America? It means they're probably going up, and the Fed has absolutely no control about what oil prices are going to do, what food prices are going to do. And I think that here's another problem right here coming from the hedge. Trans-Pacific shipping rates rise as carriers make capacity cuts. More problems. So those big cargo ships are charging more while we import more goods from other countries, making them wealthier, by the way. And let me know, like, are you seeing gas prices surging? I saw Arco today, which is the cheapest gas in town. Regular now, $4.55. That's the cheapest I've seen it here in the Valley, $4.55. We have a few more days of increases. Guess what? We're knocking on the door to $5 for regular again, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to get tapped on to everything you buy, from the grocery store to your Costco, to the Kohl's, to the Marshalls, to the Burlingtons, to the Walmarts, to everything, because everything is shipped by train, by truck, by boat, by plane. And how are they going to stop the inflation that is going to be caused by fuel prices going up? We get back up to $100 a barrel. We're now approaching near $80 a barrel for oil. So there's some big headwinds coming. Here's another one that they're not talking about. UPS, Teamsters deal threatens to keep inflation elevated. You're going to pay for this when you order something, when you ship something, or when somebody ships something to you. Guess what? It's going to get more expensive. Current and full-time employees will receive a $2.75 per hour pay increase this year and a $7.50 more per hour pay increase over the length of the contract, which is 5 years, and the contract is $30 billion. Guess who is going to absorb that? That will be you and I. So when you buy something and it's being shipped through UPS, or when you send something through UPS, guess who's paying for it? You're paying for it. Now, here's another article today which I thought was interesting, from the New York Post. Shoplifting suspects casually roll out 3 carts of merchandise. This was from a Burlington store in Sacramento, California. Absolutely disgusting. These people absolutely look disgusting. They are monsters. And I bring this up because not only is it criminal, or it should be criminal, apparently in California or Northern California, it's not that criminal, but nobody does anything about it. But guess who's going to be charged more when they shop at a Burlington? You're gonna pay more, because Burlington now is gonna pay more in insurance costs, and you're gonna pay for that. So people just think, well, shoplifting's bad, but their insurance takes care of it. Well, guess who's gonna pay the insurance costs, all those increases? You're going to pay for that. So when you go in and you buy a shirt that usually costs $30, well, now it's going to cost $33 or $35. You're going to pay for this. But if you get a chance, check this video out. Oh my Lord. I don't like to be judgmental. I'm a very observant person. But when you see these 3 slobs walking out of the store with the carts at full capacity, they open up the trunk to their Dodge Charger, and they have stolen so much stuff that the lady can barely, this is 3 females, the lady can barely close the trunk of the car. And these 3 slobs get in the car and just drive away like it's just a walk in the park. 3 shopping carts of goods from a Burlington store in Sacramento, California, piled into the trunk of this car. Absolutely shocking. That, you know, people have lost so much self-respect that anybody that can look themselves in the mirror after doing something like this, you're pathetic. You're such a loser. Unbelievable. We're all paying for this. And what kind of example do you set for your kids? First off, these are some of the most unhealthy people I've seen on a video in a long time. They're disgusting. And again, I don't judge people. I don't make fun of people. I'm not here to criticize people, but these are losers. These are thieves. These are people that we have to pay for. And I'm sure they don't have jobs, and we're paying for them with government subsidies while they go out and they just take what they want. They take what they want. And these people absolutely disgust me. Next article from The Hedge. U.S. new home sales tumble in June. Prices tumble. So new home sales tumbled 2.5% month over month. And get this, this is something we're not hearing about either. Last month, in May, we got the great news that new home sales were up 12.2%. Well, guess what? It was revised down to 6.6%. The housing market's in trouble, ladies and gentlemen, in big trouble. And so it was revised down to 6.6%. This is when builders are slashing prices. They're buying down the mortgage rates of these homes to do anything to incentivize people to buy these new homes. And these people, the retail sellers that are selling existing homes, the retail seller has no idea what's coming. And these builders, they know. This is why they're slashing prices, why they're buying down the mortgages of these homes. This is why they're throwing in a free swimming pool or free granite countertops or free travertine floors, whatever they can to get you incentivized to buy one of their homes. This is what they're doing. While the retail seller, the mom and pop seller, is sitting there going, I'm going to wait it out till I get my price. Good luck to you. Those days are over. And yes, maybe you live in a part of Florida. Maybe you live somewhere in a part of Texas where it's still doing okay. But in 97% of America, the game is over. And it's a matter of time now before we continue to watch more and more and more homes hit inventory, days on market longer, prices being adjusted, and prices going down, and more foreclosures on the way. I'm going to finish with this last article today, as it is nearly 120 degrees as I make this video. Yes, I need to get out of here. This heat out here is really, I've been out here 20 years. It's starting to take a toll on me. It's time to get somewhere that's not as extreme, that is for sure. But this article coming from The Hedge, endurance of electric vehicles falters in extreme heat. Yes, I did not see too many EVs out today. They're at home charging. When temperatures break 100 degrees, it says some of these EVs experience a 31% decline in range. Same thing, when it gets really, really cold, they experience a decline in their range. And when you're at 120, what do you think that that's going to do? Is that going to give you a 35 or 40% decline in range? I don't know. But I think the whole EV thing, I think the trend is beginning to wear off, in my opinion. I'm seeing less and less people being excited about their EVs. And when you look at what happens in extreme temperatures, hot or cold, and the range that you lose on these vehicles, is it really, really worth it? And the price that you're paying for these things, and you know, the amount of environmental damage that these cars are causing, from all the mining that takes place for the minerals to operate these vehicles and these batteries, and the dependency that we are going to have with China in order to drive these cars and have these batteries and all these chips, the dependency that we're going to have with China on top of the dependency we already have, I don't think it's a good idea. And I think more and more people are beginning to realize it's not worth it. It's very inconvenient. You don't have the reliability, and the dependency on China is just something that I think a lot of people are beginning to factor in also. Let me know your thoughts on that. Maybe you love your EV. Maybe you're thinking about getting one. Maybe you have one, you don't like it. Let me know. Let us all know. Do you have an EV? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Are you thinking about getting one? Are you thinking about getting rid of one? Let us know. Comment down below. But I'm going to leave it there today. 120 degrees today, but God bless every one of you. God bless America. We're alive, we're breathing, we're thinking, we're talking, and we're blessed. We really are. And make sure, no matter where you're at today, whether it's 120 or it's in paradise or it's at the beach or wherever you're at, make sure that you give all thanks to God today for everything you have, because most of all, you're alive today, you have your health, you have family, you have friends, and we're very, very blessed. Make sure if you're in a hot area, and most of the country is very hot right now, make sure you're taking care of your pets. Make sure. They can't speak, ladies and gentlemen. They can't talk to you, so make sure you're looking out after them. Have a wonderful day. God bless every one of you. Make sure to like, subscribe, share this video. Talk to all of you very, very soon.